right now, the amount of money that I'm generating is enough for me to actually like give myself rewards.
Mhm.
But there have been times where I've worked really hard and I have not had enough money in my bank account to give me those rewards. And I've felt like, oh, I'm going to this coffee shop and do I need to transfer money out of my savings account to buy this cup of coffee? But I'm like in the middle of a work day at the same time and I'm working really hard to like get everybody everything that they need. And I still feel like I can't afford this cup of coffee. That feels like crap to me.
Mhm.
So I've been trying to, because I think the other thing from my childhood is that like watching my parents struggle with it made me not want to deal with it. And then I decided I was like a very creative kid. And when I was 9, I was watching, Meryl Streep movies. And I was like, I want to be an actor. I want to be like Meryl Streep. And
Mhm.
I think part of that was actually like crafty and creative. But I think the other part of it was that like, if I watched like the Academy Awards or something and I watched these people walk down the red carpet, it looked to me like money was not really a worry,
Mhm.
and it wasn't really something they ever really thought about. Like we graduated from the need to think about this at all. And I was like, oh, that sounds perfect. I'll do that for a living. I'll just like do that and I'll never have to think about it. And so I wanted to be an actor and I trained and all of this stuff. And then of course, like the business is like very different because this is an industry in decline at this point, which I didn't realize when I was picking my college major. Like that did not enter my mind of like how useful is this really to other people. But now you're in an industry in decline. I had 0 business classes in college. Like the most that we had was like an alumni came and you can go if you want and they'll talk to you for an hour about what it's like to move to LA after you graduate. Okay, that's not really useful. So like graduating college, I didn't really have any skills. The only skills that I had were like, I can go be a barista. I can go work in retail, just like minimum wage jobs basically.
Hmm.
And then I did that for a long time. And and I think that I did that because there was like this avoidance. Like I still just like, I didn't want to go get a 9 to 5 and I didn't want to, I didn't want to like get skilled in something that was useful enough to other people. And then maybe around the time I was like 25 or something, and I was also teaching yoga during all this time, which also pays like crap. And I met Ollie, and Ollie is 13 years older than me. And I think that I needed that. I needed somebody who just like had been around the block and
Mhm.
had put on their big boy pants and dealt with things and had just been like, hey, here's what it's like to be in the world. Go get a job. Why don't you go get yourself certified as a project manager? You might be good at that. He's a project manager. So he started that whole thing for me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go do this. And so since then, things have felt a lot better because I've been able to feel that I have something really valuable, that other people agree with me. This is valuable. I don't have to go try to convince them that it's valuable the way that I would as an actor or
Mhm.
even really as a yoga teacher. Like that's still like a job of just trying to go out and like convince people that this is something that they want. Versus like project management. Hey, I can be organized and I can move work from A to Z. Like I've 20 people raising their hands saying, I want that.
Mhm.
So I think there's something also to that I just wasn't understanding growing up because I grew up as a millennial whose parents told me, you can be anything you want to be. Thanks, mom and
Right.
dad. But really, thank you, mom and dad. But at the same point, nobody else wants me to be those things.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the tough part about if they really give you that message, that exact message, because that is something that I hear a lot, and I wonder like the small, slightly different versions of it that parents give. But I think Ollie give you something very valuable in encouraging you. I don't know how he knew that project management would be good for you. But there is, it is not something to take for granted to be good at something. And because I work with you, I know that you are extremely good at project management and communication. And it's possible that communication could lead you in other directions related to some of your core strengths. But doing what you're really good at, that is valuable like money. That is a resource that you have. I know this because my wife has gone through a couple of career iterations, and there were a few years where she didn't feel like she knew what she was good at, and it was very depressing for her. She was just floating around here, and I'm not getting validation from the world. And she didn't really care how much money she made. She just wanted to feel like she fit in somewhere and saw her own value reflected in other people's eyes. So, and I know a lot of people that are just like, yeah, I'm fine at a bunch of things. I don't know what I'm good at. But if you find almost anything that you're very good at, I think that that's a resource. Now, you may say that that's easy for a person to say when they're not worrying about money as much, which I haven't said yet, but if we assume that's the case, it may be easier for me to say, but I am certain that that's a thing of tremendous value to be good at something. And that's an asset that I think some people who are wealthy would say, yeah, I would pay $2 million for that or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if you could package that and sell it. There are people that spend a lot of money on various types of self-help and psychology, coaching, whatever it is, in order to find themselves. And this may be an element of that. So it is very, very valuable, that thing. So I'm glad you found that. And that is correlated with money. But to me, generating money is a lot broader subject than that. Like there's a lot of things you can do besides just do the thing that you're good at.